Hi Aries, welcome to your January 2025 reading, Capricorn season reading. All information before we get into it, I was like, which direction do I want to go in? All information before we get started to work with me one-on-one is below. Website, scheduling link, payment options are all down there, as well as the Patreon link that is going to have the general reading and the extended. So if you want to sign up there also to get the general, you can. So let's talk about it. I really wanted to start off with you guys as one of the first because one, Chiron is going direct in Aries, and the true node is finally leaving Aries and going into Pisces. We got lots of cards that just fell out. Lots and lots of cards. Okay. So lots of shifts happening, and also you may be having some kind of foreshadowing happening. There's there's two outer planets that are moving into Aries by the middle of next year and other signs. So there's a lot of newness happening, something you enjoy, but even then cardinal signs can be stubborn not to move forward at times. Not now though. You are maybe receiving so much information and insight and understanding about yourself at this time, not only from Chiron being in Aries and being in your for Aries first house, but this is going to affect, so that's rising or sun and moon. This is about what's being revealed that that your brain or even your heart, because we have Leo out here, which rules the heart, has been protecting you from. And now that you've been revealed, a part of you, Mars is in a fire sign, you maybe want to say some things. You maybe want to go at some things, but you realize you also have it's not just a reputation, but maybe even a legacy to uphold. You might take this time, we have a lot more cards out. You may take this time to reflect. You may take this time to acknowledge how far you've come. You may also have learned that through this time of Chiron, even though that you want to react to it, that's just your defenses. That just shows what you've been protecting. And instead of harming yourself by possibly harming, not that you would harm others, you may now take this point of view of like, look at all that I've created and created for myself. We got 2 9s here, so that's lots of endings as well. You may be also ending a time where you protect others from yourself. This is where you might also feel very empowered to say what you need to say because you've been protecting for so long. So if this is about you and internally, then you may come to a deeper compassion with yourself and how much you've created, with how much you've done and what you've been protecting yourself from. And this independence that you feel, or this empowerment that you feel with yourself, with your heart, with the support, perhaps that you have the proper support. For some of you, that's a Leo or a Leo-like person, or you're feeling just more open-hearted and able to care for this part of yourself that you have not given or received the proper attention for. And now you're giving it to yourself. For those of you, if this is about other people, healing communication. Go ahead, speak from your heart. Speak from an empowered place. But remember what you have. Remember what you have going for you. Remember who you want to be. What has this time transformed with you? Where can you give yourself time? Where do you need not to rush to conclusions? What if you went, before you said anything, you really came from a grounded place, if you really do feel the need to act, because a lot of you will, and say and do. What kind of support do you need at this time? If the holidays also aren't your favorite time of year, maybe you spend more time with friends, maybe you give yourself alone time. What is it that you need to make this time more well-rounded for you? Because healing is action. Healing is also change. And if you're more open-hearted, if you're feeling like you're at a time where, because Mars is in a fire sign, you're ruled by Mars. This is also a time where it shows you the potential to create here. And also shows you how much you've withstood, Aries. Oh, I'm sorry. That's also something I see in this too, is that how much your heart has withstood, how much you're back, right? So if you need more rest, or you need more time to yourself, then take it, because you've finally come to this place where you're seeing yourself in real time transform what you've been protecting from yourself, and why you've, either not reacted or were too quick to react because maybe you have done it internal, to a place where you feel so empowered by your value. You feel valued by yourself. That before we get here, when you look at what you have and you know that some things need to go, for you it is a very physical grievance. It may be something that has caused, whether it caused happiness or pain or both, there was an experience there that you had that you may be attached to. But now you also notice that it's just been keeping you down or holding you back from moving towards more of the life that you want to create now. Or you feel this intuitive pull and you don't even know it, you don't even realize. Oh, there we go. Sagittarius season says you have the freedom here to honor, to acknowledge what you have not. This is also, Sagittarius, we could fight about it or agree to disagree. Sagittarius, you probably have with Leo one of the strongest hearts and physical bodies, right? You, more than anyone else, can know how much you can put your especially your internal body through, your mind through, which is another reason why you keep your mind focused and sometimes block out some noise, selective hearing, selective noticing, whatever it is, because that's what keeps you going. Sagittarius being the most physically strong and also a semi-ethereal creature, we have the centaur. So this is temperance, this is hips, this is forward movement coming from the heart. This is you noticing again, because you're releasing, right? We have the Two of Cups behind him too, which is curious, right? Two of Cups. And then we have him alchemizing here, him, her, they. Angels are non-binary, so excuse me. Alchemizing the emotions and what you have here. And then we also have the Two of Swords. So this is something that has maybe kept you, maybe you've been ignoring. And now that Sagittarius season came around, Mercury is in Sag, it will move shortly. That would be in your 9th house. This is from the start to finish. We have some swords from start to finish about changing your perspective. This is about shifting your perspective about something, but it needs to alchemize through your nerves, through your body, through understanding that grief isn't easy. Loss isn't easy, even if it's for the better, with the 9s here, and then we have the 5 of Cups. What you will receive, though, is insight and wisdom that you didn't have access to before. It was lying dormant. I believe that at these times when we're experiencing death or a type of death or change or even alchemization process, because you're making something new out of something you already have or have gone through, and you're able to almost traverse some time because you're giving yourself the time that you need. something that you could have possibly kept a blind eye to for a while. The Four of Swords here says, though, you're going to be revealed something you didn't know. But it's through this process that you learn. And for some of you, it is about your expression, how you want to create your expression now, what you already have that you can offer. For others of you, this is a whole change of how you go about living your life. You know, for those of you, if creation means, because like for Aries rising, this is 5th house, 9th house. There could be some creation in terms of publishing or writing, something that really comes from your heart, something, maybe things that you've learned, or you go into the genre or the certain kind of expression that has helped you move forward. Again, taking a look at what you have of value to offer. I sometimes pull this card. I do have a couple oracle decks, and I have this, or one actually. Oh no, I said a couple. I don't like to keep things I don't need, just me. Or don't use too much. I don't like collecting dust. It's just, right now, it's just not my vibe. I'm, in transitions in my life. So it's about giving away something that you hold close and hold sacred, but it doesn't have to be physical. It's about giving away some wisdom. You have wisdom. You have things to share. You have, like we said, you have came through and been through a lot, especially in realms of love. And the strength that love gives you, the strength that you have acquired. And now through this time, Mercury is also bringing you knowledge you didn't have before, right? It's helping you see things from a different perspective. It's allowing you to acknowledge some things that you once couldn't acknowledge. This transformation is bringing you to a safe space within yourself to finally come to a conclusion, maybe that, fulfillment comes from the passion you have and the worth that you have to then create it. We're going to use this as your year ahead. The worthiness you have to create what's next, especially if it's outside your comfort zone. For those of you who have risen up to the highest potential that you could be, perhaps now you're thinking of something different, and now you're changing your perspective, your philosophy. Maybe you want to travel, so maybe it's about your travels if you're a traveler. That's also very Sagittarian. For some of you, this could also, I will say, this could be about a Sagittarius that you just didn't want to see. For some of you, this is about seeing things about yourself or others that you just didn't want to see. And now, in order to move forward, in order to actually go through to the next phase of your life, you have to see it. You have to. It's time to learn from it. It's time to see it. It's time to acknowledge it. And that is the way towards fulfillment. That's the way where you find the energy, right? Whatever's not giving you energy, it's time to approach it differently. Especially if it's something you do have to do, or you're with someone and there's a lot going on, maybe a lot of tension or a lot of friction, or you're learning to find that balance. It's about taking a different perspective. If, you've tried things over and over, or if you tried certain things the same way, it's about trying things new. This is also the completion. You've completed something. You're shifting something. That's also can cause you to feel these small griefs. But this is an empowered version of you who knows that now you have a direction. I want a family, fulfillment, What does fulfillment mean to me? This is destiny calling. This is for those of you who are becoming more creative, doing something out that you maybe didn't think you've done, but if you're an expert in something or something you really need to get off of your chest and out of your heart and onto something, it's time to create it. It's time to realize that you're worthy enough to create things other than what you know what you can already do. What do you want to see yourself do, Aries? Because you may not realize now, and I love this, we'll look at that in the second part more. I love this saying, and I posted it on my Instagram. If you're not there, it is Venusian Wave. Is that there's this concept of gaps and gains. A lot of people look at the gaps like, are basically maybe comparing yourselves to others or where others are, or your age and where you think you should be, instead of seeing how much you, like how far you've come. So use this time, instead of attacking, allow yourself the compassion to look at how far you've come. Through yourself, you have maybe turned some fears or some things that you've been protecting into value. You've turned yourself and you've created value of yourself. Not that you weren't valuable before, but you've physically created value. You may have physically created value in other people's lives, and you may receive some very thoughtful words and messages at this time as well. So be prepared for those. But you realize that if you love talking about certain things, or you're philosophizing certain things, or you look at life a certain way, why not go on the journey of discovering who you'll be when you create something for the world to also experience? This idea comes from this emotional and mental healing, and accepting that you can do that too, not to limit yourself. And a part of it, more than anything, is for you. Anything you create, I want you to think about yourself. Shocker, Aries, think about yourself. But really, think about what you're passionate about, what you could do every day, what you can talk about almost every day of your life, right? When you put that kind of emotion behind something and you do it for yourself, even though you know it will go out into the world, there is another kind of energy that happens, and you will be seen in the ways in which, not that you can control how you want to be seen, but you will be seen for your worth. You will be seen, and you will be heard, and you will be acknowledged. You already are, and it's already happening, but there's more, which can bring more stress, which can bring more energy. But the way that you handled this right now, because that's your yearly overview, I do believe that we're always preparing ourselves for whatever we're going to go through next. This is preparing you for that. Who are you when? Answer the question. And here you are, Aries. I'm very excited and look forward to getting into the second part with you. If you want to take a look at the link below, you have the strength it takes. You already have it, you already know it, you already feel it, and it's time to allow yourself some more freedom, especially from things that you can choose freedom. Choose freedom. Choose yourself. Choose expression, especially freedom of expression. And listen to your body, as always, okay? We'll see you in the next part, Aries. All information is below. Happy holidays if you celebrate. If this isn't the easiest time of year, make sure you do what you need for your mental health. Check in here. There are sessions available below, but I also don't want to play off you. I'm just offering you that. If you feel like you need a reading at this time, this is usually a great time to do that, or gift it to a friend. Like, subscribe, share this with someone that you care about, love, think can resonate with it, whatever you want to do with it. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the new year.